once again, everybody, and welcome to the WTOV9 Game of the Week. Tonight from St. Clairsville, the Red Devils host the Bellaire Big Reds. Ryan Recker alongside the coach, Bud Billiard. Happy to have you along tonight. A pivotal game for both of these teams. St. Clairsville looking to go to 3-1. Bellaire at 1-2, looking to put that record at even par and get back right this ship tonight.
Starting with the visitors, it's a very big game. They have to try to do something to get to that average record right now so they can go on and make that next win, hopefully a winning record. So this is big on their part. Okay, for St. Clairsville, new coach, new program. They're 2-1. One more game tonight can start pushing them toward a good season. So this is both, big on both parts. So it looks like it's going to be a good game. I've talked to both staffs. There's a lot of excitement out there. This is going to be a good one for us tonight.
We're happy to have you along with us. Coach, before we take a break, you want to talk about your hat there, Ground Zero 911 on your visor.
My wife and I had a chance to visit it. Awesome sight. To you firefighters, to you police people in the valley, thank you very much. I work for you tonight.
Well said. We're back with the kickoff right after this. Welcome back to Red Devil Stadium, getting set for the kickoff of tonight's Belmont County Showdown as Bellaire takes on St. Clairsville. Chris Tomlin has it teed up for the Red Devils, 3 deep for Bellaire. And we are underway on what is a beautiful night for football here. And ball will come down out of bounds. Flag on the play. And Bellaire will choose to take that penalty, and they'll take over first down and 10. Let's check that Bellaire Big Red offense. Liberati, Dom Liberati, your quarterback. Mike Fisher, Brock Redman are in the backfield. Jason Wiggins, Maurice Jeffries, and Josh Fisher. Tight end, flanker, and split end respectively. Shacross, Duvall, Crawl Porter, and Lucci are up front. From the 35-yard line, first down and 10.
Bellaire's in their pro set with the fullback front side. It looks like an isolation up there. The ball looked loose.
Mike Fisher gets the carry, crosses the 40-yard line. Ball may have hit the turf. St. Clairsville signaling it's their football, but referees are going to give it to the Big Reds. Second down coming up, picked up about 5 on that play. Let's check the St. Clairsville defense. Lewis, Dan Howard, Paul Graham, and Chad Hill are up front. Linebacking core looks like that. And in the secondary, it is Pitlack, Twardowski, Mel, and St. John. That play will go for a couple more yards.
It looks like from the beginning, Ryan, that Bellaire is going to try to find out if there's a softness in the St. Clairsville front. St. Clairsville is playing a 4-3 defense, and Bellaire is using the fullback in an offset formation, and they're handing the ball to the tailback and trying to use the much bigger lineman against the St. Clairsville smaller lineman and just work for yardage.
Well, it's a 3rd and 1. Liberati on the option, pitches it to Fisher. Fisher brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Logan Mel there. You read that play well, Coach, and it's going to force a 4th down.
Very well. What they did, they kept the option going east and west. Whenever you can keep the option from going downhill, it's a quality play for the defense.
Take another look at it.
The quarterback is going to come laterally. Now, he left the line of scrimmage. It pushes the pitch man deeper. It gives the defense a chance to read it. You'll see the outside male fella come off of that stock block and then make the tackle. That's a great open field play. We have a punt, Ryan.
So Bellaire short on 3rd and short. And now problems with their snap. Punt away, though, off the foot of Justin Shepard, and now a fumble as it comes down, and ball loose at about the 20-yard line. St. Clairsville, though, no, Bellaire will take over. It appeared for a moment that St. Clairsville would have the football, but Bellaire gets the first big turnover and first big break of this ball game. 1st and 10 at the St. Clairsville 20.
I think what happened, Ryan, he tried to run. You'll see the ball start to work loose. He didn't have the ball secured inside, and when he took the next hit, he lost the ball. Consequently, that's a big turnover for Bellaire, and it's a momentum builder, so we're going to have to find out what they're going to do with it.
The sophomore A.J. Twardowski with the fumble. And Bellaire gets the big break early. 1st and 10 from the 20. Fake the give. Liberati incomplete. Tipped at the line as he looked to hook up with number 25 out there, Antonio Dalto. 2nd down.
We saw Bellaire run the ball 3 times during the first series. Now they're down into the red zone. They're spreading the St. Clairsville defense, and then they're going to try passing. Now the defensive end, number 33, got up and made a very, very good play, tipped the ball. That was almost intercepted.
That was Brian Lewis. You'll see him at running back tonight on offense.
Bellaire's trying to spread them out. Looks like they're going to do the option again. This time the stock block come off.
And it's Fisher. Fisher once again, Mike Fisher will be credited with about 5 yards on that carry. Another third down coming up. Third and we'll call it a long 4 for the Big Reds.
That's not a bad call right here. We have the option again. This time he rides in. He's coming downhill a little bit more. Makes the option that much more effective. And Fisher gets about 5. This is a 4-down zone, so that was a very good play on the Bellaire part. Well, there's no tight end in the game. They're playing with all splits.
They were stopped at 3rd and 1 in their own end. Now a 3rd and 5. And let's see if this was encroachment or if the movement jumping was induced, and in fact it's offsides on St. Clairsville. We won't have to worry about a 3rd down because the sticks will move it. 1st down coming up for the Big Reds.
You have 2 errors right now that aided the Bellaire drive, and again, those are momentum builders, and maybe Bellaire is going to use those to set up this, this first potential score. The ball's just inside the 10, so there can be no 1st down. Now we have again the spread set from Bellaire. And there's a little crossbuck.
That's
very
Brock
good
Redman.
call.
Brock Redman, touchdown Bellaire. So they convert on the turnover. They get the fumbled punt, and they march it right into the end zone as the Big Reds draw first blood. Up 6-0, extra point pending.
You'll see a fake pitch, a counter by the running back, and then he'll step right back. Now, the quarterback will reverse out. He'll fake pitch. Then it'll be an inside handoff with the running back coming back across the formation and reading the blocks and taking it in. Now Bellaire usually is good at the PAT, although they didn't do so well at Park. This time they must have worked on it. No, they didn't. The ball is wide to the right, Ryan, so that's a crucial point.
Clayton Williams misses it. Remains 6-0, 8:45 left on the Undo scoreboard. We're back with more action right after this. Back on the game of the week, Undo's scoreboard reads Bellaire 6, St. Clairsville nothing. 8:45 left here in the first quarter. A big score for Bellaire. What they wanted to do tonight was score early, and they converted a fumbled punt by St. Clairsville and turned it into 6 points. Now a short kickoff coming down, and it'll be fumbled and finally fielded by R.C. Delacruz, and Delacruz along the near sideline and finally brought out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Made a very good play. The ball was bobbled. He took his time on fielding the ball, came up and got a key block, read to the boundary, brought the ball back to the midfield stripe. You'll see the ball hit the ground. He doesn't panic. He kind of waits on it, plays the hop. Watch, he'll go back down. His eyes are on the ball, which was good. Now he's going to break the boundary. He'll pick up a key block, and as soon as he does, he's going to find the channel. There's the block right there, and he brings the ball to the 50-yard line.
Good field position for St. C's first possession. The give along the left side, and for St. Clairsville, that's Cody Starkey, the fullback on the carry. Good for a couple of yards.
They ran that inside give to the fullback to the open side of the formation.
So 2nd and 7, Starkey. Touchdowns last week of 7 and 11 yards in the 27-18 win over Union Local. It's I formation for Gay. Option play. Gay, the pitch. Brian Lewis. Lewis close to another 1st down.
The option was run very well. The quarterback did a great job of coming down the line.
Here's a look at the St. Clairsville offense. Gay, Lewis, Starkey, you've heard from them. Darren Pitlack, Delacruz, and Logan Mell also involved up front. Adam Scott, Chad Hill, Ryan Baker, Dan Howard, and Paul Graham. That'll move the sticks. 1st down and 10 from the 40. St. Clairsville now trying to rebound after that turnover and giving up the initial 6 on the rebound with good field possession. 2 wideouts and 2 men in the backfield here. It's Lewis. Again, spinning out of 1 tackle, but he's going to lose yardage on that play.
They're kind of running a little power play to the split side. They had the fullback lead, and the guard follow.
Here's the Bellaire defense. Boston, Lucci, Shacross, and Ney are your front four linebackers. Kaiser, Mancini, Smith, and Shepard. And in the secondary, it's a good one. Fisher, Wiggins, and Maurice Jeffries. That was a loss of 1, so from the 41, it's a 2nd down and 11. Tomlin in motion. Flag on the play. Gay gets it to Starkey. Starkey will have enough for the 1st down, out of bounds near the 26, but we'll check this flag thrown at about the 41-yard line.
I don't know if that's going to be an offensive hold or what the call is going to be. It looks like a chop block or a below-the-waist block, and these are things that St. Clairsville cannot allow happen. Now, there's the chop block you saw from the backside. Although it was inside the line of scrimmage, evidently it was not good or illegal. They ran the waggle pass, saw the fullback in the flat, and they had this formation set up to make this play go extremely well, but it's all for naught.
And that is a major setback. Ball would have been at about the 26 had that play stood. It's now back at the 46 of St. Clairsville. So march off 15 on that one. They have a 2nd and 26.
That's a major loss. The big thing is don't get down, don't lose your poise. You can move the ball. You've already proved yourself that you can move the ball. Stay with your plan. Bellaire's got a nice big front to work against up there.
It's Gay on that same fake. Throws it short to Lewis. Lewis looking for blockers, cuts back, and finally is brought down at midfield, which will bring up a 3rd and long.
They threw a little screen pass over here to the weak side, and they set the screen up off the first play that they ran. They ran the waggle pass first. They faked to the tailback. The tailback will work out into the flat. He needs one more blocker to make this play go, because what he's done, he's left on an island out here making one-on-one, and no one was left to pick up the defensive back. And the defensive back made a nice play on this. We have a 3rd and big now, Ryan.
20 to be exact is what they need. They need to get to the 30-yard line. Gay on a short drop. With time, throws it into traffic, and it bounces incomplete. Had a couple of receivers down there, Logan Mel, Chris Tomlin, couldn't hit either one of them. Brings up a 4th down. It
looks like that throw might have been caught. I don't know if maybe he was led a little too far, but it looks like that might have been a catchable ball, and they had cleared that zone with the outside receiver, so chances are if he catches the ball, they get their 1st down. However, if doesn't work, and they have to punt the ball.
Check that. That was Brian Chance, 24, down there on the intended catch. This is Matt Sabatino back to punt it. Nice spiral. Ball bounces at the 10 and out of bounds. Boy, talk about some execution. Maybe the most important play in football is the punt, coach. How well did he execute that one?
I'm going to tell you something. That was a great punt. That's just what St. Clairsville was asking for. That's what St. Clairsville needed, and that's what they were asking for.
Well, Bellaire starts deep in their own end. Undo's scoreboard, 6-0 Big Reds. We're back after this. Well, that ball went out of bounds at the 1-yard line, so
now Bellaire's in a power eye. They gave it to the big fullback. They're going to try and get yardage coming out, and they're not doing a bad job. Now they've got some size up there. They have a real good size interior line, and now we have a flag.
Now a flag comes in following the play. Redman on the carry, and this will probably indicate some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct, and St. Clairsville's walking the other way. So for all good that punt did, it's nullified right now because tack 15 onto that run. 1st down Bellaire, and they're out of trouble.
That was a personal foul, and it happened inside the line. You really don't know who it is, but that young man's probably going to be getting talked to because you can't do that. You can't let them out of their own deep zone with things like this. St. Clairsville's had a few errors right now in fumbles and penalties that's been very costly.
So from the 1 to the 23, thanks to that play and a penalty. And this would give up the middle. Be good for a few yards on that play on the carry.
Once again,
go ahead, Coach.
Bellaire is working, size on size. And it seems that they're trying to work the power isolation game. You'll see the tailback cut the ball back and find a soft spot right in and near the center. See, he'll go out to the off tackle, then he'll break it inside where there's a little soft spot. But theoretically, it's all the same stuff. It's power football. Now we have a spread set with a little bit of motion.
Here's the junior Kaplan on the pitch. And Kaplan out across the 35-yard line. That's good enough to move the sticks again, as they'll run inside and they'll run outside. Bellaire, you talk about this team, Coach. They are 1-2, but they can run the football, and they have a lot of guys that can do it.
They're doing a great job of running the football. Right now, they're going to have an open formation with motion, and they're just running the toss sweep to the outside. And he's picking up some blocks, and then he breaks a tackle, and then he's wise enough to work to the boundary, look for the sticks, and get the big first down. Once again, they're in their spread set. And this is the counter play with the trap. This is the same play that Redman scored on the last time. What will happen is this. He'll take a jab step away. They'll fake the ball on the jab step. They're very disciplined. Bellaire does an excellent job on plays of this nature. Then what he'll do, he'll follow a tackle or a guard trapping back across the formation, and they usually have a good seam over there to get yardage.
Brock's good for another 9. Last week he tallied 87 yards against John Marshall and 2 touchdown runs of 10 and 25 yards. He has one to his credit tonight, which is the difference in this game. 6-0 lead for Bellaire. This time in the backfield, that is Kaplan. Looked like he lost his footing.
Exactly.
And he's going to lose a couple, so a 3rd down forthcoming.
Now this is going to be a big down for St.Clairsville. They have to try to hold them here because the ball is near the midfield line, and anything beyond the midfield line, if the ball has to be punted, is probably going to come up with bad field position. And it's a game of field position. You know, it's a long game, but sometimes the field can create that clock to work against you. So let's see what's happening. With Redman at the fullback, that gives him a real threat. He's a running back as far as I'm concerned.
3 wideouts, 2 men in the backfield. They fake it to Redman. Liberati on the keeper, and he's got the first down out to about the 48-yard line.
This is a good play because what happens is this. The defense will bite on the dive back, and this is called a follow. And it's called a dive follow, whereas they'll fake the ball to the running back. You'll see the fake. The quarterback will hold to the ball, look as if there's option, then he'll follow that running back right where he went. Now, the defensive end's not a factor because instead of the ball coming to him, the play's occurring inside. And most times, the defense is going to bite on that dive back. Now, Bellaire is executing with the tight end this time, and they're running toward the tight end.
And they're running with Kaplan across midfield as they continue to chew up yardage. Content with running the football. Why not if it's working?
First of all, it's a clock killer, okay? It's high percentage plays. And when you're doing things like this, you're gaining yardage. You know, you're continually working to your goal, and you're taking time off the clock. You're keeping the St.Clairsville offense on the bench, which is what this is all about. Now we're in the spread set again. Bellaire is doing a fine job of mixing up their sets. Now that is the same sister play.
Ball on
and
the ground.
Fumble. We have a fumble.
St.Clairsville will recover the football. So what we were just talking about, trying to chew up time, methodically moving it, well, you can't do it when you fumble the football. And St.Clairsville, this may be the turnover they need to get their team back into this game. Let's take another look at it, Coach.
This is a setup play of which the quarterback kept. This time, he didn't have the ball all the way in. That quarterback has got to look the ball into the seat. That running back has to secure the ball. Go ahead.
Redman and Liberati problems on the exchange. It was Starkey on the recovery, and it's a 1st and 10. Ball just inside midfield on the St.Clairsville side. Option play. Gay, pitch it to Lewis. Lewis with a head of steam is across the 45-yard line, out of bounds about the 43.
They're running the option to the weak side, and they're doing it very well. And what they're doing is tying up the tight end and bringing the ball down. Now watch the mechanics here. We're riding, and the quarterback is coming down the line. He's attacked in number 4, and once he does, he pitches the ball, and then it brings the secondary into play to make this, to make the stop. And that's who you want making the tackles on the option. You want those defensive backs making tackles all day because they're downfield. It's a slot right eye. This time they tried to give the ball inside to the fullback, which is the setup play from the option that we saw on the play before. But once again, I think that Bellaire is very sizable inside, and when you're trying to run that particular play inside, they often take it away from you by size alone.
That's going to lose a yard. They'll back it up to the 45, 3rd and 5. What do you call here on 3rd and 5, Coach?
Well, I would have called the option.
On this coming play?
Yes, sir. That option play is good on any time. Now, St. Clairsville's like in a trip set and to the wide side of the field.
No option here. Time, though, for Gay. Across the middle, and it's going to be rolled incomplete. One at R.C. Delacruz. From our vantage point, looked like he may have reeled it in, but the referees signal incomplete, 4th down, and the punting unit is on. The
official from the far side of the field picked that play up very well. Now, the quarterback is checking off. He's going down through his progression. He makes a nice throw inside. Once again, it seems like we just have a little bit of a lead on the ball where the receivers are having to stretch, and of course that came up as an incompletion. Now, once again, we have our second punt of the night here in behalf of St. Clairsville. Last time we had a real booming punt, and the ball rolled out on the 1.
Sabatino kicks it. The Fisher boys back there. This is Mike from the 7.
Now, this kid can run the ball. He is a very good return man.
He'll have the corner here, looking for more blocking. Excellent return to the 35-yard line. So Mike Fisher, 28-yard return on that one. And Bellaire, good field position once again. 1:23 left here in the first.
The punter did a real nice job of position kicking to the side. The problem is the coverage people from St. Clairsville, instead of maintaining lanes throughout the coverage, they kind of bit toward where the ball came down. And that's something that you've got to really be careful with. Instead of having them back inside the 10, the 15, and the 20, the ball's out to about the 36-yard line. Bellaire again in their spread set with that offset fullback. There's the same play they ran real well the last time and got the big sweep. This time St. Clairsville kind of hemmed it up a little bit, Ryan, and maintained it to only about a yard or 2.
Yeah, that's Kaplan on the carry again, and you'll see him in there. You'll see Redman in there. You'll see Starkey in there. They really like to mix it up, does this Bellaire team. Not really, and of course Fisher, and not really one feature back, you know?
Those kids are dangerous. Those kids can make it happen. It's good to have a little corral of backs like that where you can alternate them in and get a lot of mileage out of them. Keeps their legs fresh, makes them last the whole game.
Well, we're down to 45 seconds here in a 6-0 first quarter, favor Bellaire. They have the football, 2nd and 7 from their own 38. This is Mike Fisher, and he finds a little hole out across the 40-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
This is going to be 3rd and 4 once again. Bellaire's going with the toss sweep. We saw the toss sweep, but yet they keep coming back to the middle. They keep coming back and try to run that power stuff inside. And this kid here is a good ball carrier. He runs with good body lean. He's always working. His legs continually move. So he's a nice kid to be carrying the ball. They have him back there again.
6 seconds, 5 and counting.
Let's watch for the counter.
Will let the clock run out, will the Big Reds. That is the end of the first quarter. A quick first quarter. A lot of running here at Red Devil Stadium. Bellaire scores after recovering a turnover. They go in for it. On the Undo scoreboard, it's 6-0 Bellaire over St. Clairsville. Let's now check on more scores around the Ohio Valley. Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Recker with this News 9 Sports High School Football Scoreboard Update. We begin with Martins Ferry blanking Union Local 55-0. Wheeling Central 42-16 over Valley. 10-0 Beaver Local beats East Liverpool. Shadyside 44, Bellaire St. John 14. Buckeye Local 35, Oak Glen 21. It was Weir High 37, Allegheny Academy 8. Harrison Central gets its first win 20-15. Barnesville over Buckeye Trail. More scores on WTOV9.com. Welcome back to the WTOV9 Game of the Week. On the Undo scoreboard, Bellaire leading St. Clairsville 6-0. Start of the second quarter. Ryan Recker alongside the coach, Bud Billiard. Happy to have you along with us. Run, and more run in that first quarter. Now it's a 3rd and 3 for Bellaire, and an interesting call here.
Bellaire has the same set before the timeout for the quarter change. And now the quarterback's looking around, but I would look for, well, there's no counter. They're going to try to throw the one-on-one pass out to the outside, a little hook curl pattern. and he does a great job. High percentage, Ryan. Good for the first down.
That's Jason Wiggins reeling it in, the senior, first down across midfield. Another look at it.
Set up off of a little play fake inside. Nice throw, high percentage, good catch. Got it with the body, brought the ball in. Hey, was going to catch the ball. Even though he got hit, he wasn't going to lose the ball.
Looked like Ryan Baker may have got a finger on that football.
Good concentration on the receiver. Bellaire does a great job with their skilled kids. They do a great job. That was a great play. Now here comes the counterback that Redman was carrying earlier that did so much damage and got the touchdown. Maybe the defensive end to this side is reading that key a little bit tighter and coming to a mental pause. Now, what happens when your blocker goes away and you're coming upfield? You've got to look for the counter coming back. Now there's the fake. Here comes the trap. The trap's inside. Redman has to read it outside. Now we saw that defensive end squeeze that time and make a much better play.
Possibly they adjusted to that after the touchdown run.
You want to be able to do that. You know, the game is nothing but adjustments.
From the 47, second down and 8. And this is Redman bursting through on the inside give, and he's across the 40-yard line, and that's enough for a Bellaire first down. So they give it to him again, and they're going to stick with this run.
That's a major gain. That's just an inside give. Now this is a setup as if they was going to run the option here. The deep ride, and then it continued down the line of scrimmage. And Redman knows what to do when he sees a seam in the defense. He picked up about 12 yards on that play. That was a big pickup for them. Now once again, we go back to the power game. That defensive end said nothing doing.
Mike Fisher met, and he is said hello to by Brian Lewis coming from that end spot. Can you give a better textbook tackle than that?
No, that's just as good as it gets. He comes up, he reads, they're running that power play. Boom, down underneath. Look, it's like a wrestling takedown. Down, takes him to his back. He got 2 points on that one, Ryan.
That's right out of the textbook. There's that tackle. Yeah. Loss of 1 on that play. 2nd and 11.
One thing you're seeing is good coaching on the field. There's a lot of things that the kids are doing on both sides. Now, once again, this is the thing that you've got to take away from Bellaire. Watch their kids go up and grab the ball. They'll go up and snatch that ball. I was watching them in the pregame, receiving passes. They do it with such grace and such ease. Watch the reception on this. This is going to be a good play. We have a little bit of a play fake away. It's like waggle action. Quarterback sets up. He's going to read the soft pocket. Once he does, look, you'll see a great snatch. That's a good catch.
It was rolled incomplete, though.
Oh my,
excuse me. Rolling on the field, Ryan Paget going up to get it 3rd and 11.
I have to watch the whole play, don't I?
Play action.
This is going to be a fake. Bellaire's notorious for this.
And across the middle, there was some contact between Twardowski and Paget right at about the 25-yard line. No marker down, 4th and 11. Bellaire will punt.
It's football. This is the sport where you're allowed to hit one another, and I'm glad the officials allow them to hit one another. Bellaire patented route. They'll have an underneath route in the intermediate area off a play fake. They have a deep receiver going over the top. The deep receiver was covered. He's trying to hit the crossing route. We have Bellaire punting the ball, Ryan, out of a spread set.
That's Justin Shepard. High snap. And a nice spiral called for. Fair catch by Logan Mel. Ball bounces into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 20 on a touchback. 9:56 to play here in a low-scoring first half. It's 6-0 on the Undo scoreboard. We're back with more after this.
Thanks for watching the WTOV9 Game of the Week featuring the Bellaire Big Reds and the St.Clairsville Red Devils.
Back in St.Clairsville, 1st down and 10 for the Red Devils. Eric Gay rolls to this side, high pass, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of R.C. Delacruz, and helping on coverage there, maybe knocking it out with the hit was 34 Maurice Jeffries for Bellaire.
That was run very well. That's a 3-level pass off of play action, and that time you'll see the tailback 33 go all the way to the other side of the field, occupy people. The quarterback threw the ball well in the pocket, right where you wanted it to be. But what happened, it seemed like the fullback, the 1st-level receiver, got a little close, and that's tough to stuff the ball in. It's also tough for the 2nd receiver because he doesn't know who's the ball is supposed to go to, him or someone else. We have extended motion across the formation. Now, once again,
fake again. Gay to this side. It's got a man open, and it's dropped right at the 32-yard line. Looked like he turned his head and looked to turn it upfield, did Brian Chance, before he caught the football.
You know, Coach McLean was talking before the game that he had some things that he thought would work, and this thing was wide open. What's going to happen? You're going to get the fake. You've got good protection. Gay does a great job of getting outside. Watch. He'll get set up. He throws the ball well on the run. The receiver's all alone in that pocket, and it's really a difficult play to defend, and that's as good as you can run the thing. You just got to catch the ball, Ryan.
That's simple. Nonetheless, it's a 3rd and 10.
Now we'll look for a pass here because they're in a split set.
Short drop, Gay. Incomplete, and off the fingertips, I believe, of Matt St. John, and it brings up a 4th down. So Red Devils on that drive quickly go 3 and out on 3 passes.
This is not good for your statistics, but it's not good for you moving the ball. It's not good for moving the ball toward the opponent's goal. And now that field position that we talked about earlier, you know, is going to play a big part. Now they've been pressuring from the right side to the kick. And the last time they had 2 people coming up that the defender in the back had to work with. And St. Clairsville has been getting the ball off. Jesse got that one off. Now they have returned to the boundary.
Jeffries.
And there's a channel over there.
Jeffries will try to cut it back as he turned the corner, and a nice return off the punt of Sabatino, and good field position again for Bellaire. They'll have it at the St. C 37-yard line.
Bellaire did a real good job of setting up that return. The receiver, focused in on the ball. He was very patient. He'll see things happen, and watch, he'll come up, he looks at that channel, and then that wall to the boundary. Watch, there's a little wall, and then of course the convergence was underneath him. He does a great job of working downfield. He gets as much as he can. Bellaire's in the spread set with the offset fullback. Now there's your counter trap, and Redman carries the ball again. That time the second level got him. There was a kid that dove and missed the tackle on that. They had that thing defended relatively well, but it turns out to being not too bad of a play for them. They get that much on each play, they're going to get a first down.
I was just about to say, with the exception of the touchdown, that first down run, we're not seeing huge runs here. We're seeing 3, 4, maybe 5 at a pop. Right. But like you said earlier, that keeps the clock moving, and it keeps your defense off the football field.
That's the key. That's the key.
Here we go again.
Here we go again, and it's power football again. Inside, and again, it's at the off-tackle area. Bellaire is now employing a tight end, and they're running toward that tight end right now.
Kaplan will push that one for a couple of yards. It'll bring up about a 3rd and long, 6, maybe 7.
The fullback will lead right inside, and of course, he squeezes through. Now, St. Clairsville in there getting tackles, trying to strip the ball. That's what you teach the kids to do. If you can see that apple come loose, you want to pounce on it. You do everything you can to make it come loose.
3rd and 7, maybe 4-down territory.
It's working toward that. You look for Bellaire to go to ball control throwing now and play fake.
Liberati in trouble and brought down back at the 40-yard line.
It just took him out of 4-down territory right now. The only thing that could happen right there, Ryan, happened in behalf of St. Clairsville. Now it is 4-down, or it's punt time.
Paul Graham on the sack. Let's take another look at it. Liberati set it up nicely with the play action, but just too much pressure.
Fakes the ball well. What helped on that was the simple fact that the pressure coming upfield had to take his vision off of downfield where the receivers were.
Time for a break. 6-0 remains the score on the Undos scoreboard. Back with more right after this. Hey, welcome back to the game of the week. 6-0 Bellaire leads St. Clairsville on the Undos scoreboard. 7:37 to play here in what has been a rapid first half. 1st down and 10 for the Red Devils. Lewis on the give, and he's not going to get much. They are closing the holes quickly, are the Big Reds defensively.
All right, that time St. Clairsville came in and they went into a wishbone set. And they ran the same type of play that Bellaire has been running at them. They're running what they call the power off tackle, where you have lead backs and a pulling guard. That particular time, they picked up about 1.5 yards. It looks as if they're going to be in the wishbone set again. And we'll see what their thinking is out of this offensive formation.
Okay,
there goes the power again.
and that'll be a few more on that carry. Carrying the football there, number 9 for St. Clairsville, and that'll bring up a 3rd down coming up here, Coach. And it could be, a situation where they need to get a 1st down here to move the sticks and chew up a little more time. Otherwise, they're punting to Bellaire. Well, they'll get good field position once again.
Right, they need a big 1st down here. This is, there's so many crucial plays in the ball game. One play don't win the ball game. A series of one plays win the ball game, and this is one of them right now. Again, they're in the wishbone.
From the 25, 3rd and 5. Gay rolls to this side. And he'll unleash it, but it's going to be too much. Logan Mell down there, but good coverage. Mike Fisher, Maurice Jeffries were there, and the ball even out through the coverage on that play. 4th and 5 coming up.
He ran the waggle or the boot out of the bone set. It's a real good play, but the quarterback has to be taught to run the ball. Now, as he comes around, the defense is going to fall off because they're thinking pass all the way. Now, he could get 5 yards. He should have kept the ball rather than throw it, because the high percentage thing was to keep it, not throw it. Now they have to punt it away and hope that they can get good coverage.
Mike Fisher back deep. Sabatino on a low snap.
He punched the ball relatively well. He's been giving them good hang time all night long. This is something, not bad coverage. He saw a little bit of daylight in there, Ryan, but he just didn't try to make, he couldn't get much out of it. He saw the wingman come down, he beat him, but the 2 inside kids did a good job of covering up for him.
Well, we've seen a lot of punts tonight, and when you look at what's the difference in this game, well, it's the 1 turnover. The 1 turnover on the punt, fumbled by St. Clairsville, gave Bellaire prime field position from the Red Devil 20-yard line. From there, they put it right into the end zone, and that's your 6-0 lead, which is what we're looking at here with 6:02 left in the first half. Draw play coming. It's Mike Fisher spinning out of 1 tackle, but not spinning out of the arms of Brian Lewis, who's played outstanding from his defensive end position tonight.
I'm going to tell you, this Fisher kid has a lot of moxie about football. He goes into the line of scrimmage, and when he goes into the line of scrimmage, he's going to see that congestion. Watch him bounce out of there. He's going to take the football. He's going to go up in there and he says, hey, wait a second, there's nothing there. Look, he limp legs out of there, but just a great defensive play by the end. That's good football on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Man, you love to see that. That's enjoyable. High percentage pass. That's good for completion, Ryan. That's going to be about a 7-yard pickup. Now, the receiver did a good job. He went to the ground to get the ball, but he caught the ball. Once again, you got to give the kids from Bellaire a lot of credit the way they're being coached. Watch, good throw. He's going to put it right there on a rope. Now, he goes down after the ball. Who cares? It's a reception.
Ryan Paget on that reception went to his knees knowing very well that he's not going to be able to advance the ball after that, and he caught it, made the reception. Now a 3rd and 5 from the 48. This St. Clairsville crowd getting a little enthused right now, trying to cheer on their defense on a big 3rd down play.
Watch for the play fake. Oh, this is going to be the deep stuff.
Liberati
he's going to try there again.
Down on the turf, but making the catch once again is Paget. And a 1st down at the 35. Nice adjustment by Paget there. Slipped on the turf, regained his composure, and he got the football. 1st down.
This is a real good throw. The quarterback is going to go back. He's reading into his coverage. He sees that open area, and that receiver, he's going to get to the open area. Those coaches from Bellaire say, get there and then catch the ball, which is exactly what they do.
Well, the Big Reds on the move again from the 35.
There's that trap for Redman. Right now, Redman followed that trap again. This time, Ryan, instead of going inside the trap man is going to log up, and once he logs, then the running back will bounce that play. That's the 2nd phase of that play.
And Redman good for 6 yards
Here
again.
comes the
Taking another
guard.
look at it.
The end is upfield. Now, watch him log him up. See, he logs him up, and he just occupies him so he can't get a good tackle. And once again, second-level people have to come into play to make the stop.
Sabatino brought him down. 2nd and 4 from the 29.
It's Fisher.
And that was Fisher working his way for a couple. Red Devil defense, though, closing the gap on him. It'll bring up a 3rd down and looking like 3 here for Bellaire.
That's going to be a short 3. And again, this is going to be power football to the off tackle. Now we have a definite 4-down zone. So they essentially have 2 downs to get the 3 yards. And they're in a comfortable position right now. You know, the threatened position is on the side of St.Clairsville. We have the offset fullback again, and they're going to play fake it. And this time what they're doing, they're going right into that pocket. It seems to me that the St.Clairsville linebackers are not getting enough drop off of the play fake. And what's happening, they're being held so well on the fake of the quarterback that they're not getting to read that drop. And there's a little intermediate pocket that Bellaire has found, and that's where they're making a living right now.
Well, Liberati to Paget once again. That'll set it at the 10-yard line. 1st down and 10. They can still get a 1st down. Nope, they're going to mark it now 1st down and goal. With 2:45 left on a winding clock. Bellaire up 6-0, but looking for more here before the first half expires. This is Redman. Redman carrying the pile, and he'll be finally brought down. Whistle blows, but not before he reaches the 5-yard line.
Bellaire is using 2 stand-up tight ends. And what they are, they're just 2 wide receivers lined up at the tight end position. And what they're doing is going into a power I and not giving it to the deep back on the first play, but giving it that quick fullback who's got a lot of strength and could find that seam. He's right close to where that snap is, and he's getting measurable yardage. It's now 2nd and goal on the 5. They're in the power I again. Bellaire has used this set forever, and again, you know, they're dishing the ball off to the fullback. Years ago, they had a kid named Zonker that played for these kids, and what a player he was.
He was a Zonker.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. We played against him in the regular season and in the All-Star game, and this kid was a headache. Now, Bellaire is in good position right now. You know, they've got the clock going for them. It's inside 2 minutes. You know, the ball's laying there on the 3. It's 3rd and goal. They know right now that they've got to come away from with points right now. Okay, now this is it's back to the power I. They look like they're going to be in a Y set, but they weren't. Now this is the 2nd man, and they do a nice job of stopping the 2nd man.
Well, that charge led on the play by number 75 defensively for St.Clairsville, Ryan Baker, among others. And timeout is called on the field. They did a nice job reading that play. Alan Kaplan stopped short of the goal line, may have picked up a yard. 4th and goal from the 2. Will they add to that 6-0 lead on the Undo scoreboard? We'll find out after this. Back on the game of the week, Undo scoreboard. Bellaire 6, St.Clairsville nothing. 1:14 left here in the first half. A 4th down and goal from the 2. Bellaire will go for it here, Coach, and I'll put you on the spot. What do you call?
Well, the thing about Bellaire, you know, they're so versatile down here. I think Redman, who's carried the ball most of the time, may get the opportunity if they run. Of course, I'm totally wrong. They may go with the play fake pass. Who knows? There goes Redman.
Give it to Redman, and he's in for the touchdown just like that. Bellaire quiets this crowd as they take a 12-0 lead. The Redman 2-yard touchdown run.
They'll have to go for 2 points here. They're going to call a timeout again, which is wise. And as I said, I just felt Redman would get the ball. He's been the most productive inside runner they've had all night. He's running between the tackles and behind the guards extremely well. And he's a kid that you're going to have to talk about at halftime and say, wait a minute, we got to take this kid out of the ball game. Okay, the keys when Redman's in an offset are really in the line of scrimmage, because if he's going to get the ball on the counter, you're going to have a lineman coming back across and he'll follow.
Well, let's remind you that tomorrow night at our other game of the week, Union Local in Martins Ferry, that comes your way after our expanded Saturday coverage, roughly around 11:45 right here on WTOV9. You talk about this drive, this touchdown drive Bellaire just put together. Where did it start? Started on a good punt return by Maurice Jeffries, giving them good field position at the St. Clairsville 37.
you know, special teams are 1/3 of what you do. You play offense, you play defense, and you play special teams.
And we've seen them play a big factor here tonight.
Exactly. It's been real good. That return has really set things up for them. It really put them in a comfort zone. Because, you know, a first down, and then you're just about in 4-down territory. And boy, that sure gives you, you know, a little more breathing room. Puts the heat on the defense. Now, here's a patented spread set down on the goal line by Bellaire. They're going to end up in almost a trip set, and they're going to run a little bit of a crossing route. Very difficult to cover down there on the goal line.
And they got the 2. Brian Mancini from Liberati, the 2 points on the scoreboard. 14-0 Bellaire on our Undo's scoreboard. Coach, another look at it.
Play
Pretty
was
nifty play here.
executed well. Play was executed well. You have clearing routes, and then a quarterback is just going to look for the dink route coming out. And that was our motion man coming across. And what happens is this, that secondary will see those 2 up front routes go, and then they'll drop with them, and then they leave this guy coming up.
So a big score for the Big Reds with 1:12 left here in the first half. St. Clairsville now finding themselves down 14-0, and they really haven't established anything offensively so far.
No, they've hurt themselves.
And we'll get set for the kickoff here, but a reminder to you, tomorrow at 2:30, looking like a good one. Notre Dame, they haven't scored an offensive touchdown yet this season, but they are 2-0 under Tyrone Willingham. They take on Michigan. That's on WTOV9 at 2:30. And as our director, Dean Marini, tells us, offense is overrated. And defense wins championships.
I have
Coach,
to agree
you
with
can attest to that, right?
That's so funny. They're picked to win that ball game. And the caption, the offense doesn't have to score.
That's the biggest game. At least they're talking about football once again at Notre Dame, and not in a negative sense.
It's great. Tyrone is a great football coach. I'm so happy that that kid got the job. He'll do a great job out there. He'll do a great job recruiting, and he's an excellent coach. It's just so good to see him there.
So here's the kick from Clayton Williams. Bounced around and finally picked up by Twardowski, and he'll return it to the 25-yard line.
I think the kicker got hit a little late.
It looked like there was some extracurricular back behind the play there, but
when you coach
no
your kicker,
no foul.
When you coach your kicker, Ryan, you know that there's always on every return, you know, somebody going to get him, and you have to be, you know, a little bit of aware of that.
You remember Buddy Ryan in the Bounty Bowl in the NFL when he played the Cowboys, and there were rumors that he paid a player to take out the Zendejas, who was the Dallas kicker at that point. And I believe that game was on Thanksgiving. But nonetheless, here we go. Shotgun formation, 4 wideouts and a setback for Gay. He's got 1st and 10 from his 25. Comes to this side, and that play read well. The man on the tackle there is Mancini. The man on the reception is Brian Chance, and the clock will wind now down to 51 seconds and counting.
Okay, they're going with their 2-minute offense. They're going with their, you know, their quick offense right now. And Bellaire's making some personnel changes. I don't know if they have too many or too less on the field. There's a little bit of motion. I think we're going to get a flag on behalf of St. Clairsville. They weren't quite set.
You had your flag on the play. Ball falling incomplete.
Yeah, I do see the flag over there, Ryan. I didn't see their receivers to the wide side of the field get set. And, of course, you know, we have an encroachment there.
So 33 seconds left on this clock. Penalty was declined by Bellaire, and it's 3rd down and 7 coming up from the 27. And timeout called by Bellaire. They want to, looks like they want to set their defense. John Magistro and company not wanting to give up anything big here with that comforting 14-point lead. And if you're St. Clairsville, are you going to do something razzle-dazzle? I mean, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot here.
That was Bellaire's last timeout. That was Bellaire's last time out. Now, what St. Clairsville can do, what I think I would do, I might spread them and try to run the option, or I just might run the option, try to get the ball downfield because they're going to be playing loose, and then try to get a 1st down, okay? The other thing is it's going to work the clock down, which is what you have to do right now. You know, the world has not come to an end. This game is not over. You don't want to do anything right now that could give Bellaire any semblance of getting any more points on the board or getting any more momentum. You have a 25-second clock, Ryan. And, you know, I don't know what, you know, the St. Clairsville staff's going to do, but if you throw the ball, the only thing is it puts you in a 4th down situation. Do you want to punt from that situation?
And if you, of course, if the pass is incomplete, you have to punt the ball away.
Exactly.
With time still on the clock. So we'll see what they do here. I formation and 2 wideouts to the top of your screen. Gay. They'll give it to Lewis as they keep it on the ground. And Lewis trying to just hang on to that football. Will cross the 30-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down, but they will not have to run a play. Will St. Clairsville. Probably wise just to let time tick away.
Wise decision. They're going to set it. The wise thing right now, okay, if you're going to do anything, gamble long or run it out. And the thing is, in gambling long, it can backfire. This may be the best thing to do. Go in, sit down with the guys. They've got the return, you know, they've got the ball second half. So, you know, it's not over with, so let's go in and talk about it.
Well, Brett McLean and company decide to do it. On the Endo scoreboard, Bellaire leads St. Clairsville 14-0 at halftime. Here's now more Ohio Valley scores, and we're back with the 3rd quarter in a moment. Welcome back to Red Devil Stadium. We turn our attention to the field right now where the Bellaire High School Marching Band and the St. Clairsville Marching Band are both on the field. Thanks for watching the WTOV9 Game of the Week. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Billy, you ready? Let's go.
And welcome back to the Game of the Week. On the Undo scoreboard, Bellaire leads St. Clairsville 14-0, getting set for the second half kickoff. 3 men down there for St. Clairsville. One of them, R.C. Delacruz. He can bust one, Coach, and he did it last week for 85 yards against Union Local.
They sure need something like that right now. I'm sure both teams went in at halftime, Ryan, and did some talking. Bellaire says, we're doing some good things. Let's keep it up. St. Clairsville says, hey, we made some errors. Let's see if we can't correct them and get something going. They need something happening here. They're not going to give that young man a chance to bring it back, Ryan. They're going to kick it down on the ground.
And Logan Mell fields it.
His knee touched the ground.
His knee touched the ground, in fact. So St. Clairsville, 1st and 10 from its own 22-yard line. They had problems in the first half moving the football. Only 23 yards rushing, 8 yards passing. They only held the ball for 7 minutes and 13 seconds and only had 1 first down.
That tells the story right there. That, along with the the errors that they made, were the things that really cost them, the first half of this ball game. They played 2 halves. Let's see what's going to happen.
Gay on the option. He'll keep it, and good pursuit from the backside by Bellaire on that play. 36-man seating among others. Short gain brings up 2nd down and long.
That backside did a great job of running the quarterback down as he made the play upfield. Good ride inside. Once again, the size from Bellaire, I think, takes over a little bit here, and it gets a push. And, of course, they get good backside pressure, and all of a sudden, that big play turns into not such big play.
Let's call it a gain of 3 to the 24-yard line. This is Lewis. Lewis trying to fight through. One man can't do it. Good for a couple again, but as we saw in the first half, Bellaire holding St. Clairsville to 3 yards a carry.
What's happening, I think, is the size factor is the difference in the 2 football teams right now. Now, these are good quality plays St. Clairsville's trying to run. Now, that is a power to the split side. On paper, that thing was blocked well. It was executed to the point. But once you get it off paper, and you have somebody else on the other side, that's the problem. That's what caused the problems on the play. That time, the defensive end did a great job, and then the linebacker filled right in there.
From the 26, 3rd down and 5. And Looked like we had some movement. Looked like it was on Bellaire. And this may, in fact, move the sticks for a first down. Let's check the penalty.
It'll be close if it's not a first down, Ryan.
Offsides on Bellaire. And it'll be just maybe a half-yard short. So third and a long, short one, I should say.
Right. If Bellaire's in the even front, you may see a quarterback sneak, but they're going to bunch somebody up and cover the nose to take that play away. I think you just got another offside, Ryan. I think what happened is we just saw it did over the last play. Now, of course, the nose tackle is saying that the offense moved, and that's what drew the defense, but I don't think that the official is going to agree with him. I think they're going to say, no, White jumped offside, and you're going to have the offside.
That drives the head coach crazy, doesn't it?
Oh, my God. You know, you're up by 14. You're standing over there and say, wait a second, guys. We talked about not doing this stuff. So let's go out there and let's settle down.
So from a 3rd and 6, now to a first down on back-to-back offsides penalties, and it's out to the 36-yard line. That's where Gay works from, and he'll roll it to the left side. Open, tipped, and incomplete. Wanted Matt St. John out there, tipped by a defender, nearly picked off.
That defensive play, or the defense made a great play on this. They had a real good play set up, and they were going to throw into the slot. Now, the quarterback's going to throw the ball, but you're going to see that defender make one heck of a play. He's covering the short receiver, but ends up causing, problems with the pass by leaving the coverage alone and then going up and batting the ball.
A sliding Maurice Jeffries nearly picked that one off. Just into the second half here. St. Clairsville now will go to the option. Gay keeps it and had Lewis as his pitch man out there, brought down on the play by Justin Shepard.
That time, the option tells you if you see two opposite colored jerseys outside, keep the ball. The thing that helped the quarterback, he's bringing the ball downhill. Watch. After the ride, he's coming downhill with the ball. He sees it. Now, if he pumps that ball, he's going to make 42 go upfield a little bit if he just juke fakes that ball a little bit. But he kept the ball and picked up about 5 yards off that, so it was a quality play. It's just that they have a 3rd and 5 and a big must down.
From the 41-yard line. They'll go option other side. Gay, the keeper, close to a first down. It looks like he has
the first down.
Out near the 46, 47-yard line.
Now, that was a good decision on his part to keep the ball because he saw 5. Had he pitched the ball, they may have gotten some considerable yardage to the outside and into the boundary there. Now, St. Clairsville must do this. There's Brett McLean, the former Brook player and now head football coach, working his football team. And this is a big game for these guys, both sides. Coach John Magistro and his staff and Coach Brett McLean and his staff. This is a big football game for both of these groups.
Brett McLean has had to grow up in a hurry as a head coach. Only 10 weeks on the job. Already 2-1 though, and a big one here tonight. If he could get this one in his pocket and get out the gates at 3-1, be one heck of a start here for his young career. But right now his team down 14-0 with the football, 1st and 10 inside of 9 minutes here to play in the 3rd quarter.
Okay.
Shotgun formation.
St. Clairsville's in a spread set on first down.
Gay will go up top, streaking down the sideline and incomplete. R.C. Delacruz, ball thrown under and to the outside. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, that's one of those first down plays where you're going to try to get it all. Shotgun look, and that just looks like we have streak routes. And Gay's reading into a set where he feels like he's got a defender beat, but then he throws the ball out of bounds and behind, the wide receiver.
St. C. Gay only completed 2 passes, 2 of 10 in that first half for a mere 8 yards. They'll bring it this way to the freshman, that's Brandon Hudson, and penetration by that Bellaire defense forces a loss of 3, maybe 4 on that play, and another 3rd and long coming up for St. Clairsville. That Bellaire defense, you're seeing their speed come into play here.
Right now you've got good control up front, but you're going to see a good rundown. you know, we get good catch pressure from the backside, and he does a great job of catching up with the ball carrier on that toss sweep.
That's 2 Ryan Kaiser.
Does a great job.
The junior.
Their linebackers do a real fine job off of that 36 and 2. They do wonders for him in that in that short secondary.
And here comes more pressure. Gay gets rid of it. Incomplete. What presence to get rid of that football, and what a dangerous pass as he felt pressure from that front side on defense for Bellaire. 3 men in there had the presence to get rid of it, but wow, it was almost
Bellaire
a disastrous
brought pressure
play.
off the corner, and what they were trying to do, regardless of what St.Clairsville was going to do on that play, this kid was supposed to be picked up by a blocker. He wasn't picked up, and they were going to run the screen over here. The play was being set up very well. It was a 3-to-1 ratio on the blockers as opposed to defense, but we just couldn't, they just couldn't get the ball off to the receiver. Good presence, as you said, Ryan, in doing so. We have a St. Clairsville punt.
Sabatino steps into this one. Low one, but Jeffrey's having to backpedal to field it. Across the 20 and content with going out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
Number 40 did his homework on that particular coverage.
And with that, we'll step aside right now. Third quarter action, still 14-0 Bellaire on the under the scoreboard. Back with more after this. Back on the game of the week, Bellaire's initial possession here in the second half after St. Clairsville took a little more than 4 minutes off the clock. Short pickup there. Coach, what do you got?
Okay, what we had is a counter. That was not Redman carrying that time. Nothing personal, but that was the exact same play that Redman has been making a living on, in the early part of the ball game. They faked the toss, and then the running back follows the trap across. St. C did a good job of defending that and plugging that up in the middle. Have a shotgun.
Liberati.
That was almost motion. That was
side.
almost motion that time, I'll tell you.
Mike
And
Fisher, good pursuit.
Good defense.
2-3 helmets on the football for St. Clairsville. Sabatino coming in at the end. Also credit on that play, 72 Chad Hill with getting out there to the flats to make the hit.
That's one of Bellaire's good plays. They'll have, 2 backs split, and then you have 2 receivers blocking. The St. Clairsville kids did a real good job of defending. That first kid didn't get to make the tackle, but what he did, he occupied enough time for the pursuit, to catch him and then get him. That was done very well. That's a big down defensively for St. Clairsville. Now this is a big down because it's 3rd and long, and they'd like to hold him in this situation. Now there's the cutback inside, and I believe Fisher carrying the ball. He's a good ball carrier. He's very busy when he runs the ball. Now that was the power off tackle or isolation off tackle, Ryan. And what happens? He has the presence to bring it back inside. And as I told you earlier, he's a good, safe runner. Watch, he'll come up through there. He'll look. He's got good field of vision. Now, he's going to break that thing back across, and he's very busy. See, his legs keep working. He keeps spinning, secures the ball real well. We have a punt. Now, ball's going to bounce. Very gutsy pickup. Whoa.
That's R.C. Dela Cruz, the dangerous return man, brought down off the bounce at the 46-yard line. So St. Clairsville, good field position once again. What will they do with this drive? Well, we'll find out when we return. Still 14-0 Bellaire on the Undo scoreboard. Back in the game of the week, and we're back with an option play. It's the pitch to Lewis. Lewis out near a first down. They will now have a first down. Flag coming in late. It's going to be a late hit. This will tack on 15 and move the ball probably to the 30-yard line. And we may flag our cameraman Joel Banks for that hit, sticking the camera in there. Let's take another look from that field level view.
Joel's going to take us right to ground level. He's at ground zero on this play. This is great. You'll see a good first, front blocker, and then the ball carrier follows him. Now, what's going to happen? What it is there's Joel. There's Joel making the hit. I don't think it was a late hit as much as a hit out of bounds. You can late hit, but sometimes you follow him out of bounds, and the play's over. Leave it alone. When you take him to the ground, that's when you can get in trouble.
We had Joel fitted for equipment before the game, and fortunately we did.
Well, he's up and at it, so he's ready to go, and he's got the camera right back on gear. So
Joel will lay a hit on some people down there. That's for sure. Ball moves at the 29, 1st and 10 after the penalty. So St. Clairsville now. Look at a little trickery here. Matt St. John has a blocker in front. Will he cut it back? He will. Inside the 15. St. John reversing his field, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Easily coached. The biggest play of the night offensively for St. Clairsville.
This is right off of their option game, and they'll bring that slot back around, and it's set up very well. And if you'll look at it, Matt does a great job. See, we're going to run the option, take it away from line of scrimmage. He's coming around. He'll pick up a blocker. Watch how wise he is. Levin's out in front. He's saying, hey, I'm directing traffic. Look, take him out. I'm going to get more yardage. Now, he'll let 72 come up, pick up another blocker, break it back inside. Great play.
21 yards on that one. 1st and goal from the 8. Option again. Gay will keep it and dive ahead for about 3 yards to the 5-yard line. So look how things have changed here in the second half. Not only from the standpoint of this drive, but even time of possession. St. Clairsville is now holding on to the football, and look how a penalty can turn in your favor.
Well, if it's almost deja vu from the last half that we saw. If you'll remember, the big punt fumble and then a 5-yard penalty puts them inside the 10-yard line, and that's how Bellaire scored their initial touchdown.
And this home crowd here at Red Devil Stadium, some liveliness in their blood from the 6, 2nd and goal. They like that option. Gay, the keeper. Gay, touchdown, Red Devils.
They're running the option well right now. They're running the option well. The more they run the option, the better they're getting at it. It's a play that's hard for Bellaire to stop right now, and they're going to have to make some adjustments. They're finding something to the tight end side, and what's happening is this: the quarterback's doing a great job of reading, and he's keeping. This is a very wise decision. He's got a little seam, covered up with both hands on the ball, and work to the goal line. That was a very quality play, run very well. This is a big kick right here, Ryan. They have to make their PATs.
Tomlin up, good.
That one looks good.
So St. Clairsville, first half, 31 yards of total offense. Second half, they march the ball down the field and get their first score of the night. And we got a ball game on our hands. 14-7 Bellaire on the Endo scoreboard. Back with more third quarter action after this. Back on the game of the week, Brett McLean and his staff at St. Clairsville cutting the deficit in half, 14-7 on the Endo scoreboard. Coach, what'd you see on that last play?
Okay, I saw good ball control. Okay, they did not make mistakes. This is a big kick in coverage for them. The Bellaire people, they have to say, hey, listen, fellas, we have got to get ourselves back together. We had less than 2 minutes on our last possession. No first down. We got to establish some first down. St. Clairsville talking to their kids. Last time out, 3 and out. We've got to do it again. We've got to win the battle of field position right now and muster something up.
Tomlin, a short kick.
That was a good kick.
Bouncing
That's going to make him run wide, but he's going to make a lot of yardage. Catlett does a great job of bringing the ball all the way across the field. There was a force man coming after him, Ryan, and he was smart enough to pick up that wall going across the field. That was a real good return. That could have been a bad return for Bellaire. He turned it into a good return for Bellaire.
So now we're playing with emotions now. St. Clairsville has a little juice in their tank right now. Get the 7 on the scoreboard. You held Bellaire 3 and out once. You're looking to do it again. Redman on the ground will chew up 3 and possibly 4 as Bellaire seems content with sticking with what was working all night.
This young man has done a great job for him. I don't see anything wrong with what they did. You don't change what you are winning with. You understand? But they're juiced up because old Bellaire's kids, they come flying out of the huddle that time. They're saying, okay, we want to play some more football. That's another one of those tough communities in the Ohio Valley here. Those people are very tough. They're hard-nosed down there, and the coaches do a great job with a great bunch of kids. St. Clairsville's working to get to that point. Now that's the isolation inside out of the shotgun.
Mike Fisher.
And look who's got the ball.
Midfield. He's got the ball down the sideline, and he's inside the 25-yard line as Bellaire rips off a big one.
They gave him a set where St. Clairsville's defense took a rest. And when I say take a rest, you see that shotgun stuff, and all of a sudden, look, everybody's going to think, something else is going to happen. That's the same play they're running. That's the isolation. Fisher ran the ball up the middle, then broke to the boundary. I told you, this kid's busy, and he's a threat. He's got him down in 4-down zone now, Ryan. And there goes Redman. I think they're looking for Redman to get the football right now. And the big thing that Redman has done was a quick hitter, such as they gave him there, and then, of course, that cross-buck play that we saw earlier in the game. Fisher, on the other hand, to me, he's dangerous. I just think he can run the ball in any place on the field.
Dan Howard on the tackle there. Gain of 2 for Redmond, 2nd and 8 from the 20. Well, neither team has really changed its philosophy, but we've seen more success from each team, I guess, in relation to the yardage they picked up here so far in the third quarter.
Halftime must have been interesting. You know that, don't you?
And
now, once
Redmond
again,
carrying Brian Lewis for a couple. Now
it's Fisher.
Will push him back. Excuse me, Fisher, coach. Thank you.
This is the kid that I feel is their money player. I think that this guy is the boy that's got to carry him when things get tough. He's a good one. Now, we've got 3rd and long. I don't know, what's going to happen if Bellaire has to kick a field goal. Their kicker, it was long enough on the PAT. It just was errant. It was wide to the right. So, they're going to want to try to score a touchdown.
3rd and 6.
Look for the counter out of Redmond. Look for possession passes.
Liverani.
Or the sweep.
The pitch.
There goes to Fisher.
Mike Fisher. Fisher inside the 10. He's got a first down near the 7-yard line. So an interesting call there by Bellaire. But why not? You called him their money player, and when it's money time, you go to him.
You got to dish the ball to the kid that's hot, and he's hot. Okay, they're going to run the toss. Redmond's going to come out. Now watch Fisher. He's going to break it back in the woods. That's the kind of running back you want. You've got kids that can run in the pasture. You've got kids that can run in the woods. Fisher will run it in the woods for you. He's a big factor right now. I think they called illegal substitution on that particular infraction. The flag went in the air, and I think they had too many fellas in the huddle when the huddle was formed, which would have been 12, and then when one left, that causes your 5-yard penalty.
So from 1st and goal at the 8, it's now 1st and goal from the 13. 1:45 now and counting to play here in the 3rd quarter. St. Clairsville cut the deficit in half. Now they're trying to keep Bellaire off the scoreboard to try to mark that lead back up some more. Here we go.
There's Redman.
Redman.
There's the kid. As I told you, inside, that's the young man all night long that's been damaging, immediately at the off tackle, off guard area. And they're pushing well up front. Now, Bellaire's kids are strapping it up right now. They're buckling down. They're getting a good push up front. St. Clairsville's making some changes on the inside. Bellaire is going to stay with that power eye look. Redmond's been hot. They may dish it to the tailback once again to Redmond. This is the kid that marched it in for him last time at this particular goal. Now this is going to be a big down here. This is 3rd and 5 coming up, or 3rd and a big 4, we'll call it. But Redmond's carrying the rock for him down in here, and I look for him to be a factor.
Well, they went to Fisher on the 3rd and long. Here's Redmond on the last carry.
Now he's a powerful little runner, and his knees comes up. He's working all the time. Let's see who gets it this time, Ryan.
3rd and goal from the 4.
Okay, now they're going to give it to the second man through. That's their isolation. They ended up in this scenario the last time, and it's going to be goal line again. We were here, 4th and goal on the 2 the last time. They gave it to Redmond, who scored. Let's see what the Bellaire staff wants to do.
That was Kaplan on the carry, and they're going to let this clock run down and let the quarter expire, giving them a free timeout, time to talk things over. 4th and goal from the 2. When this 4th quarter starts, we'll have the biggest play of the game to date.
Good strategy. Good strategy on the part of the Bellaire staff.
Undo scoreboard, Bellaire 14, St. Clairsville 7. We're back with the 4th quarter right after this. Back in the game of the week, this was the 3rd down play for Bellaire. 3rd and goal to give to Kaplan, and he was stopped short at the 2-yard line. Matt Sabatino and others on the tackle.
Tell you what, let's see if this goal down here has been as good to them as the goal away from the scoreboard. Once again, the young man Redman, he was the thing that hurt them down here. Let's see if we don't get it to the second man through. Or what? There goes Redman. There goes Redman with the ball.
Did they stop him? No, they didn't. He's in for the touchdown. And what a huge jolt that gives Bellaire's confidence here tonight as St. Clairsville comes down, scores a touchdown, cuts the lead in half. The Bellaire coach comes right back down. Nothing fancy. Run the football. You have a 20-7 lead.
Deja vu. Redman carrying the football off guard. Watch his legs. They don't stop. He secures the ball. His eyes are forward. He doesn't stop. He's a nice little football player.
And the extra point tacked on by Clayton Williams. 21-7. Bellaire takes the lead here. Early fourth quarter, only 4 ticks off that clock. So obviously time for St. Clairsville to get back into this game, but it is essential that they score now.
Every second on the clock is going to count. We have a great football game here, and we've got a real strong scenario where Bellaire's got to play to win. They've got to play to win the football game, not play not to lose. St. Clairsville has got to play to get 2 scores.
And a reminder to you folks, every Sunday on WTOV9, it's the Buckeye Report with Jim Tressel. That's at 11 a.m. It's followed by Buckeye Classics at 11:30 a.m. this Sunday. They'll be breaking down and dissecting the win or the loss against Washington State. And that should be a good one tomorrow. Coach, I'm headed out there with the Bulldog Del Barris to Columbus. Should be a good one. Ohio State's biggest test of this young season. And Washington State, they have a spread offense. Similar to what Texas Tech brought to Columbus in the opening weekend. So,
but maybe with a little bit better people. You know,
yes, better personnel.
I think so. And you know, not taking anything away from the Tech people, but when you see Washington State come in, they're going to have a lot of people to offer to you. Now, Bellaire's keeping the kids in the middle, and a lot of teams have what is known as a scrum kick. And they'll huddle up in the middle, and then all of a sudden they'll kick the ball and everybody will race for the ball. And I think St. Clairsville was attuned to that. There's a cue from the sideline. We have the kickoff.
Williams, there's that liner. And it comes down to Brandon Hudson. Hudson, the freshman, across the 40. Nice return as he sprinted his way for some good yardage and good field position for St. Clairsville. 11:48 left in this one. And like we talked about, Coach, this you know, the time now where you really got to set in, you got to put a nice drive together, and more importantly, if you score, you have to find a way to stop Bellaire on defense.
This is the mark of a true freshman. He's going to run the ball and get knocked out of bounds and then hand the ball off and get in the crowd. But he makes a great play. He comes up, gets hit. All right, now.
And stopped on that play is Gay as he went to keep it. Good penetration in that backfield. And I'll tell you what, Bellaire, they're looking to go in for the kill now.
What you're going to see is more pressure coming off the Bellaire ends. They don't want Gay to get to the boundary. They don't want to be able to throw that pass, you know, let him roll and throw that pass. So they're going to start pressuring from the outside. And that can, you know, if you don't watch out, it can damage the option. It can damage their power play, and it can put a lot of heat on their waggle pass.
He lost
this is a big series. Yes, sir.
2nd and 13 from the 37. Gay to the middle. Complete. Matt St. John. St. John in the cutback inside the 40. And a nice play as he's finally brought down at the 35-yard line. Picked up on that play. We'll call it 28 yards.
Gay showed a lot of presence and a lot of poise on that play. This kid dropped back, he set, he read that route coming across, and he threaded the needle on that and made that just a great pass.
Great protection, too, on that.
Oh, it was just outstanding. That was one of those plays you draw up and say, this is the way it's supposed to work, and then get tackled downfield.
So the big hitter there has St. Clairsville with a first down in Bellaire territory. On the move once again. Option play. Keeper for Gay. Gay 7 yards as he crosses the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
This kid is doing a great job on reading the option. Now it's 1st and 10. It's now 2nd and a big 2. Okay, you'll see him come down the line of scrimmage after a nice ride. Fullback into the line of scrimmage. He's penetrating the line of scrimmage. He runs inside the pitch man that time. He's doing a fine job on manipulating that option play.
Well, they're going to officially give him 8 on that carry. Brings up a 2nd and 2 from the 27-yard line. They've used that option, has St. Clairsville here. What do they do now? Here's the give on a counter play to Lewis. Lewis spinning close to a first down. Believe, though, Coach, he'll be just a bit short.
Just a little short. That's good. That's good thinking on the part of St. Clairsville. They've been running the ball, you know, in terms of off tackle and out on the option. This time they're going to try and cross them up, running the cross trap, coming back. This is called the counter trap. And you'll have a guard kicking out, tackle reading up through, and then the tailback's going to follow. So that's a good, you know, that's a good play call. and maybe throw the defense off. However, Bellaire did a real good job at responding on this play.
Obviously,
big down.
Obviously, 4-down territory for the Red Devils.
Forever.
And it's Gay faking the give and keeping it.
He'll get
And
the
it looks
first
like
down.
he stretches that ball across the first down marker. No need for measurement, I don't believe. And they give it to him. The signal first down and 10. 9:08. And this clock will wind here in a second left in this game.
As you saw Bellaire earlier, it was like a follow. There's Coach McLean down there, giving orders. Let's make this play work. But as you saw Bellaire fake earlier and then the quarterback follow, that's more or less what, St. Clairsville just did, out of their I formation.
They'll stick with that I. 2 wideouts, top of your screen. Gay fakes first man through, goes up top. Logan Mel reels it in. Logan Mel inside the 5, brought down at the 3-yard line.
Good play fake action. Mel does a great job of going up and snagging the ball. He looked like a Bellaire player. There's a pun there. His father played for Bellaire.
Sure did.
And was a great one. Okay, good play fake. Once again, Gay stands in there tall. He seals Mel downfield. Mel, great focus, great catch. All right, and St. Clairsville's in business at about the 3, Ryan.
Gay, the option. Read well by Bellaire. Boy, they sniffed that one out. Gay really never got any separation. Nothing allowed him to move that ball down the line and either keep it or pitch it. Loss of a couple on that play there.
Going to bring up 2nd and 5. What you saw there was a great push out of the Bellaire front. I didn't get to read the defense at that time, but I think they were crowding the tackle, and there was no soft spot. Well, consequently, what happened? All that force brought the ball back off the option, and it really didn't help.
Now inside of 8 minutes, 2nd and goal from the 6. Gay, he'll roll to this side. Looking for someone. Gay, complete. Touchdown.
He got a touchdown.
Boy, he fired that ball in there. Matt St. John on the reception. Great execution. Boy, can he throw on the run.
I'm going to tell you, the kid does a great job on throwing on the run. This is what Coach McLean was worried about at the beginning of the year. Watch him buy time. He'll sprint out. He's focused in. He's got that ball right now going to the chute. It's in the chute. He threads the needle. St. John, great presence. He's across the goal line, catches the ball for a big touchdown.
Now a very important extra point to cut it back to 7. Snap down, Tomlin's kick up, and it is no good. So now it becomes an 8-point ball game, 21-13, 7:43 left in an entertaining second half. And we're not finished. We're back with more Undo's scoreboard. Bellaire by 8. More fourth quarter action after this timeout. On the Undo scoreboard, it's 21-13. It was 21-7, Coach, until this play. Eric Gay on the rollout to Matt St. John for the touchdown.
Does a great job of coming around the corner. I've got to give this guy a lot of credit. He showed, again, a lot of poise on that drop. He showed a lot of poise on the drop back, showed great poise on that sprint out.
That's a John Elway-like rollout, firing that ball right to your target. He had the defender draped all over him. He put that ball exactly where it needed to be. There's Mike Fisher for Bellaire back to return this kick.
I think you want to kick it to anybody but him.
Offside or onside kick here?
I think they'll kick it, but I'm going to think they're going to try and kick it to this kid over here and not to Fisher. But of course now here's the crossfield kick again. Now he's going to juke a little bit. Doesn't do too bad of a job of getting the ball across the 20, but that's a plus for your special teams. If you can hold the opposition on a return, to inside the 30-yard line, okay, then you're doing a good job. Had a little bit of extracurricular activities, and I'm sure the emotions are running high down there, but the officials will step in and they'll sort it out real quick because, see, you can't afford a dumb mistake right now. Neither one of these teams can yield 15 yards because they're losing their cool.
That was Padgett on the return out to the 23, and you make a good point there, Coach. Both teams can ill afford a penalty at this point, especially a 15-yard personal foul. St. Clairsville's defense, they're calling upon them now. Bellaire with a 1st and 10. They'll go to the draw play. And this is Kaplan. Kaplan banging some heads, good for 3, maybe 4 yards on that play. Clock winds inside of 7.5 to play.
Well, on that last drive, St. Clairsville used about 4 minutes 45 seconds to go the length of the field to score. So, you know, that wasn't too bad in terms of utilizing the clock. Now with the missed extra point, they've got to, 1, get the ball back, then 2, get the ball in the zone, go for 2, you know, and knot this thing up. So this is all pressure. The pressure's definitely on St. Clairsville. However, we're going to know a little bit more about pressure after this down. We'll see what third down has installed for Bellaire. Now, once again, there's Redman. This kid's dangerous. Again, he's always fighting for yardage. They do a good job of holding him up, but now it's going to be a 3rd and 2, maybe a little less than 2.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Baker did a nice job on that play, Coach, holding Lewis, or excuse me, not Lewis, Redman, I should say, holding Redman back. If he lets go of him,
he gets a first down.
He gets a first down.
He gets a first down,
so
yes.
a very good play there, holding him back.
Hang on and holler for help.
Until the help comes,
yes,
you're right.
That's it.
So 3rd and 1 coming up, 6:20 left, and now the biggest play of the game defensively for St. Clairsville.
They've got a bunch the middle. They've got Redman to deal with. Is that Fisher at the tailback? There's Redman carrying the ball.
Redman busting through, and he fumbled the football. Ball on the ground. Logan Mel's on it, and a huge turnover. St. Clairsville will have it. 1st and 10 at the Bellaire 41.
That is unfair to happen to that young man. That young man has carried the ball so well tonight that's really unfair to have that happen to him. I know that the opposition wants turnovers, but this kid has helped Bellaire to no end tonight. It's really unjust, but it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. And he's been their money guy. He scored for him, picked up first downs. He's done it all.
And Ryan Baker was on his back, held him up long enough. The strip came in, ball on the ground. Logan Mel has it. Here we go now. Gay on the keeper. Gay across the 40, or 35, I should say, down at about the 33-yard line. That's good for 7 or 8 yards on a first down carry.
I'm going to tell you how well Gay's running that option. Bellaire set a defense to take that thing away the last time. They've got an outside backer sitting over there. They rolled an inside backer out, and they had an end sitting there, and Gay still made it happen. You've got to be very, very happy with the play of that quarterback right now. Bellaire was in the defense to take that play away, but Gay said, no, I'm going to make it work.
Number 8 got 8 on first down. 2nd and 2 from the 33. That's an I formation. 2 to the top of your screen. Wideouts. Lewis on that left side ran into 2 men and elected to bounce it outside instead of inside.
What Lewis should have done is run it in the weeds that time. Now, if that had been old Fisher running, you bet he'd have gone right inside on that. When a running back is carrying the ball, Ryan, he's got 3 rules on the run. Cram it where he should have gone the first time. Cut it, bring it back across the formation. Let the pursuit go or bounce it to the outside. He went to rule 3 too soon. He should have went 1 and 2.
Inside of 5 minutes now. 3rd and 1 from the 32. They stick with the eye. They give it to the second man through. It's Lewis. He's got the first down.
I think he will have the first down.
Looked like he got enough. Needed about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, but I don't think there's any doubt that he picked up 2 and maybe more on that one. Ball, nose of the ball will rest at the 30. First down for St. Clairsville as the sticks move. Coach, good blocking up front.
And there was a little soft spot in that defense. You know, they were playing the wide play, and they did a nice job of stuffing it up inside and getting the first down. Ball rests a little bit outside the 30, Ryan, and the formation is going to be short to the boundary.
Gay pitches it to Lewis. Lewis now slips in the backfield, and he'll lose 3 on that play. There were defenders out there, though, for Bellaire.
I was going to call the play. I was going to tell you that the formation down here was going to dictate the option going to the wide side of the field, and Bellaire is setting a perfect defense. They have 1 man more than you can run the option against. It's going to cause the quarterback to pitch the ball fast. You know, and when he does that, it gives your defensive, coverage chance to cover up.
St. Clairsville calls timeout. 4:02 left here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 13 for the Red Devils. We'll see that down and more when we come back on the Game of the Week. Second and 13 coming up for St. Clairsville, down by 8, but driving. Gay with time. Throws it out to the flat. Lewis well covered on that play. It was a forward pass, incomplete. Ryan Kaiser, one heck of a job out there. Number 2 for Bellaire to read that one.
He ran right with him from the get-go. Made a real good diagnosis of the play. You'll see him read the tailback running. The fullback never even had a chance to get a hand on him. And then, of course, it caused the quarterback to throw the ball, in an awkward way for him to receive it. Ryan, there's nobody leaving here. There's a lot of excitement. This has been great from the first kickoff. People out on the field with the teams and all this atmosphere. It's just great. Great night for a football game, and this is a good one.
High school football at its best here. Gay has more time, steps up, and he's intercepted. Picked off is Gay, as he had time, but the pocket closed quickly. He stepped up and was intercepted. With that football for Bellaire is number 25, Antonio Dalto.
Gay got hit on the play.
29, Scott Antonik. Check that on the interception.
Gay is coming off the field awful slow. You'll see him go back to pass. He's going to read down, and then he's going to get rid of the ball, and then he's going to get hit. Now, we didn't get to see him hit, and linebacker made a great snag on the play. Gay still in the game on defense.
And a huge play by the sophomore Antonik, the 6'3" linebacker. And now Bellaire back on offense. Fisher banging his way ahead. Good for maybe 9 yards on that carry.
Okay, momentum. Right now, you're looking inside of 4 minutes. The clock is the enemy. Bellaire is getting very, very hungry right now. Here's where they're going to try and go for the juggler, Ryan. They're going to feed that ball, and I think that's Mr. Fisher carrying the ball again, and he picks up almost 10 yards. Big 9.5 gain on that play. You have to give that kid credit. Of course, you've got Redman in there who's done a great job for him, and Fisher's got the ball again. Looked like he crossed the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to give him a first down, Ryan.
They will give him the first down. 3:24, but it'll start winding here in just a moment. St.Clairsville got to start thinking timeouts here pretty soon. 3:20 and counting to play in this one. John Magistro and his team looking to hang on to this 21-13 lead and move to 2-2.
This series right now will dictate the timeouts. What you're going to do is see how fast Bellaire gets the ball off, and then of course the type of plays that they're running. Now this might be a good time to get your timeouts. Come on, kids, get alert. That's it. That's
it.
They
do take it. 2:55 left, as the run went for a loss of probably a yard. So 2nd down and 11. Coach, a lot of candidates for player of the game tonight, as always, and you throw out a few names tonight. I know Redman obviously impressed you for Bellaire, as did Fisher.
Well, I thought
on
they
offense.
both did a great job.
I like Redman for Bellaire tonight. For St. Clairsville, well, you got to look at a few guys. I'll tell you what, Eric Gay stepped up here in the second half and made some nice throws.
I think he has really gone in and carried the football team. The way he has run the option, the way he's thrown the ball, he's helped them out on defense. He's just been their man tonight. And, whatever you say for the receptions, he put the ball where it had to be. But when times were tough and he had to run those hard plays, he came through for him. So, I think my candidate is probably going to be Gay for St. Clairsville. And we'll look at this series and then think whether it's going to be Fisher or Redman. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
They've both done a great job.
Both deserving, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And an update on Gay. We see him on the sideline right now being attended to. Looks
by
like
the trainers, yes. The trainers have him down there right now.
He's sitting down. Here's a 2nd and long. They'll pitch it to Mike Fisher, and Fisher spinning close to midfield there. Clock will continue to wind in St. Clairsville.
They're going to call timeouts. They better do it. They're getting them timeouts in.
That's their final one.
That might be their last timeout, isn't it? Is that their last timeout, or do they have one more? I don't remember them using a timeout earlier.
And there's a shot of Gay on the sideline. Will he get another shot tonight? Certainly hope so. And will he be able to go is, I guess, the bigger question. Well, it's 3rd and 5 for Bellaire. We'll have that play and the conclusion when we return after this. So St. Clairsville spending a timeout, down 8 on the Undo scoreboard. Fourth quarter, 2:45 left in a 3rd and 5 from midfield. Long count, and now we got some motion. This will push Bellaire back as Ryan Paget took off before the snap. And that may change your philosophy here. But I would still think Bellaire would want to run this football here, get themselves in good prime punting position, and keep that clock moving.
I don't think they want to give St. Clairsville the ball at this point in time. You know, we have 2:45 left to go, and you know, you're going to have some time elapse off the clock, you know, on the next 2 downs. But I'm really thinking about, you know, maybe the counter play, maybe the toss, or maybe just giving it to Fisher up the gut. Now Redman's made good work out of that. Now there's no infraction. Too much time. It's going to be too much time.
Well, what happened there? Bellaire was signaling
break the zone.
that St. Clairsville had jumped off sides. And
what you saw
so,
was the quarterback thought the line of scrimmage was the white line. The marker was a loss. It's behind the white line, and the quarterback is trying to say, hey, call that. Now, that can be encroachment. It can be too much time. What it was, he went under the center. When he brings his hands out, that's illegal. You can't do that.
So after the timeout, it was 3rd and 5. Now back-to-back penalties.
Now St. Clairsville needs a fumble, Ryan.
From the 40, and there's more movement. Oh, Bellaire cannot seem to get things going here. And that's got to kill John Magistro over there. He's had 3 penalties now back-to-back that have cost his team 15 yards. And from a 3rd and 5, it's now 3rd and 20.
Magic's over there pulling his hair out right now. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong. That's why I'm saying, just to put the icing on the cake now, if St. Clairsville got a fumble, that would be the perfect worst-case scenario. I don't think that's going to happen. I look for them to do something that's going to be high percentage in ball control, although I could be totally wrong.
Well, they do get the play off.
And they got it to Redman.
And it's Redman for maybe a yard, so 4th and long. And more importantly here, as timeout is called, as we have some helmets interlocked down there.
I believe we have a lockup, yes.
That may aid St. Clairsville for the time being. More importantly on those penalties is the field position factor here, because that backs the ball up to the 36, so they'll be punting from roughly their own 20.
Right.
You know, you're looking at a sizable swing there.
We talked field position earlier this evening, and now, you know, that shrunk the field by 20, you know, for St. Clairsville. He's standing back, you know, inside his own 25. Now, I don't know if St. Clairsville's coming with the pressure outside of 1 man. I think they'd rather get a good return here.
They'll kick it away. It's St. John. St. John burst up the middle, across the 45. He'll cross the 50. St. John, 1 man to beat, across the near sideline. Finally wrestled out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 1:58 to play. How about that return, Coach Billiard?
Hello, special teams. You know, it's 1/3 of the game. I heard Coach McLean earlier this week. St. John's is going to do a great job. He's supposed to have a side return. However, he'll bring it up the funnel. He has a great field of vision. Watch him lurk the boundary now and start working levels. When we say levels, Ryan, it's hash to number to the sideline. And he does a great job. That ball's at the 31-yard line of Bellaire.
There's that option with Gay. He'll keep it. Gay pushing forward, pressing his way to the 23-yard line. Once again, no timeouts for St. Clairsville.
St. Clairsville's going to think about maybe killing the clock or something like that. They got to move things in there fast.
1:40 and counting. They'll give him 7 on that.
They don't want any encroachment. They don't want anything that's going to cause them to lose yardage right now.
Same play, familiar formation.
Going to get the first down, which will stop the clock. They've got to be ready with another play immediately because you're at 1:27. You don't want to panic, but we're not in the NFL, Ryan. You know, we're not in the NFL. And what we're talking right now, we're talking 8 points. We're not talking a 7-point game.
And we're looking at a tough man out there. That number 8, Eric Gay, had the injury, but he's back on the field trying to lead his team in for the tying score. Right now, they're at the Bellaire 19-yard line. This is a give up the middle, and with that carry, first call for him tonight, it's Gerald Dopkis, the junior, 6'1", 165. And now the clock inside of a minute. Picked up about 6 on that play. They'll rush players off Will Bellaire. Gay now smacks the ball down. Incomplete pass, stops the clock, 50 seconds left.
Okay, that's not a bad decision at that point in time. They have to make a first down. They have to make a touchdown, but they have to make a first down.
There's the run by Dopkis, which picked up 5 yards.
Great surprise down here. It was a great surprise. We're back to live action.
Back to live action from the 14, 2nd and 5. I formation, Dopkis and Lewis. 2 men to the top. It's Gay on the keeper, and we have a penalty
Flag.
marker coming in on this play. Not sure exactly what they're going to call as Bellaire converged on Gay. Was there a face mask in there?
It's against Bellaire. I think the call is going to go against Bellaire for an infraction. I don't know what it is. I see disappointment on one of the Bellaire young men. A face mask.
5-yard variety.
That's going to be a first down, I believe, Ryan. That should be an automatic first down inside the 10-yard line. No, they're going to have to measure. I beg your pardon.
They will measure this one. Picked up 5 on that penalty there. It would have been a loss for Gay on the play, or maybe
a slight gain,
maybe
if any.
a slight gain, I should say. Excuse me on that one. So 46 seconds left. This measurement now proves to be very crucial for St. Clairsville, as they will come up short on this one.
And they have to make the first down. Remember what I said earlier. You know, they have to make the first down. This is not an all or nothing play. You know, you've got 46 seconds to go. And you have to be ready to go right now.
No, we got a full house here standing on their feet at Red Devil Stadium. 4th and 1. Gay will keep it. Nobody out there. Gay tripped up, and he will be close to the first down. This is going to all...
They got to measure it.
This is going to all depend on the spot. Looked like he had room to roll. Now, will they measure it? And it appears that Bellaire has taken over here. They gave no official call here. Here's the play again, Coach.
He's got to get across the 10-yard line. And there's a great play. I think the ball came down at the 10. I think the ball came down at the 10-yard line.
What an effort by Gay. Timeout called by Bellaire. Brett McLean looking like he wants an explanation. You can see the expression on that young man's face, and boy, Gay put it all on the line on that play. And if he was short, it was just by inches on that 4th down and 1. As McLean talking to his quarterback. Wonder if we can get another look at that. He was awfully close to that that first down marker. Tough to tell from the one angle we had, but there was no official indication.
I'm thinking it was 3rd down. It was only 3rd down. It was only 3rd down. Call timeout. That was 3rd down. That was only 3rd down, wasn't it?
Okay, now, okay, the marker read 4th down at one point.
3rd down.
And that's why Brett was out on the field arguing 3rd down.
That's what it is. It's only 3rd down.
John Magistro on the field. Now here comes...
It's 3rd down. It's only 3rd down. You can run it back and prove it. Don't let them do it. You can't.
All right, 37 seconds left here. We thought for a moment that was a 4th down and 1 play there where he was stopped. However,
that was only
only
down.
3rd down.
You had the infraction.
The down marker read 4th. You had the penalty called. Now it's 4th down and 1. Clock will wind now. Here we go.
We're official, okay?
4th and 1. Gay under center. He fumbles the snap, moves forward. Who has the football?
They lost the ball.
Bellaire has it. It's all a moot point now. The Big Reds take over. 26 seconds left. And it's now a formality. Bellaire just needs to take a knee, but first they'll take a timeout, and they'll go to 2-2. Another look at it.
Oh, this is terrible to happen to this young man. He's done such a great job. He has done such a great job.
And Eric A. walking off in disgust as he has played a tremendous game tonight.
He did a great job.
Trying to get his team back into this one. And if you're a football fan watching this at home, you would have liked to have seen St. Clairsville get a shot at least the end zone there.
What I'd like to have seen is that play where he ran the ball the last time to the wide side, and I really forget the number of the kid that made that stop, because that was a game-saving stop. Because without that tackle, it's a touchdown. This kid from Bellaire, you've got to give these Bellaire kids, a lot of credit. Both these kids, groups of kids, have fought their hearts out tonight. There we go. Watch
Here's
him
the
come
play
out.
we're talking
Watch
about.
this hit. Can you see the number there, Ryan?
We're going to have to go downstairs to
I'll tell you what.
get that official number.
I'll tell you what a great play
believe
that was, and I think that's going to wind her down.
That may have been Fisher on that tackle, Josh Fisher.
Well, he's
not confirmed, but nonetheless, Bellaire takes a knee. And the Big Reds, this is a big win for them tonight.
Oh my goodness.
They move it. You talk about the difference between 1-3 and 2-2. There it is tonight, the 21-13 win. Now, Coach, let's talk about our players of the game.
I say we'll go with Gay and we'll go with Fisher, if that's all right with you.
Sounds good to me.
Both of those teams have fine players, but those two kids have stood out for them tonight.
Eric Gay led St. Clairsville back in that second half and had them on the move going in for the tying score until that unfortunate fumble. And for Bellaire, Mike Fisher, what a hard-nosed runner tonight.
15
and
on the tackle
with that
line.
confirmation that it was Josh Fisher making that, what you said, Coach, possibly game-saving tackle tonight on third down. Quickly, some closing thoughts.
Well, I'm very happy for both ball clubs to go in and play a game as competitive as they played. Now that the game's over, I can say it. My heart was with St. Clairsville because that's my former player. But on the same token, my hat goes off to John Magistro, his staff and kids, because, they came in and they had a great attack coming in. They stayed with things. I've coached against, him before and his staff. They did a great job. I wish both teams well. And this is a young season. This is a very young season, so good luck to both clubs as we go on now.
So for Bellaire, the streak continues. It's now 11 in a row. And on the Undo scoreboard, you see our final, 21-13, the Big Reds over the Red Devils. And now for the coach, Bud Billiard, and our entire staff here at WTOV9, I'm Ryan Recker saying thanks for watching. Stay tuned from band performances from Bellaire and St. Clairsville.